Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks in advance for the time given. And respectable our lecturer, he is Mr. Dr. Trimizi, MPD, and all my friends whom I love. In this time, we are from the second group. Would like to present you something that is about our material today. That is about constructive and error analysis. In this time, we are going to talk more about an error analysis. Where let me introduce myself. My name is Iskandar Dzulqarnain. I am as the first speaker of this presentation, and the second speaker is going to be explained by Mr. Irfan Wahyudi. He will enlarge my argumentation and my opinion, where in this chapter we talk more about error analysis. Where in the first slide we have an introduction, where actually arising from the shortcoming of TAH to adequately account for many aspects for second language learners. A number of researchers began to look for an alternative approach for the studies error. So the new approach that more justifiable and pedagogical and practicable in this new approach is basically called and known as error analysis. Ladies and gentlemen, on the basis of foregoing discussion, it can be concluded that error analysis is based on three important assumptions. First is errors are inevitable as we cannot learn a language. Second, errors are significant in different ways. And third, not all errors are attributable to the learner's mother tongues. For the second slide, we are going to talk about receptive versus productive errors, where actually competence in language is of two kinds. First is receptive, second is productive, where sometimes we oftenly define that receptive, that's something that we learn, something that we read, that's kinds of receptive. But productive in language is well known as something that we write and something that we speak. That's kinds of productive. Error can also be classified as receptive and productive. Receptive errors are those which result of listeners' misunderstanding of the speaker intention. So it is related with the explanation that I have said to you, that something that listened or got by the listener from the speaker. And the second is productive errors are those which occurs in a language learner's utterance. So something that occurred or it is explicitly coming from the learner's utterance. For the next that is about error versus mistake. We oftenly hearing that what is error and what is mistake. Basically, those are really different. Mistake is a problem done in once, but error are problems done continuously. So something that we do continuously and it is mistaken means that it is errors, and something that we do and it is mistaken in once, that is called as mistake. From this chapter, error are regarded as a rule governed since they follow the rules of learners' interlanguage. In the contrast of two errors, mistakes are random deviation, unrelated to any system and instead representing the same types of performance mistake that might occur the speech of or writing in native speaker. Well, ladies and gentlemen, maybe only that's what I can explain to you about this presentation. And for the next is going to be clarified more by my second speaker. He is Mr. Irfan Wahyudi. For him, please. And as I say, catch you later.
Hello, I am Irfan Wahyudi. I will go on the next explanation on error analysis. It is about significance of error. Many scholars in the field of error analysis have stressed the significance of second language learner error. Here, they are significant in three different ways: linguistic, psycholinguists, and teachers. Linguistic, because might suggest the study of human language is the most fruitful way of discovering what constitutes human intelligence. In the psycholinguist, because by looking at the children's speech by comparing it with adult speech, they had been able to examine the nature of the mental process that seem to be involved in the language. And the teacher, because by analyzing learner error they would be able to discover their difficulties and devise the method of comparing them. Okay, next, branches and uses the error analysis. In the field of error analysis, be divided into branches. The first is theoretical and the second one is applied. In this case, error analysis is one of the central activity in the psycholinguistic investigation of language learning. In other words, it seeks to throw the light on the nature of language learning in general. What is going on in mind when people learn English or learn language? Okay, here we have four kinds. The list of the goal of applied error analysis as follows: determining the sequence of the presentation of target language item in the textbook and classroom. The second one is deciding the relative degree of emphasis, explanation, and practice. The third one is devising remedial lesson and exercises, and selecting item for testing the learner's proficiency. Okay, the last flyer, it is about types of error representing stage of second language development. Learning goes through different stages of language learning, with each stage having certain characteristics. Here we divided the characteristics. The first is stage of random error, a stage with order called systematic, in which the learner is only vaguely aware that there is some systematic order to a particular class item. The second one is or imagine state of intelligence, find the learner growing in this consistency in linguistic production. The third one is truly systematic, in the sense of the learner is able to manifest more consistency in producing the second language. The stage which are based on the error analysis adequately account for sociolinguistic, functional, or non-verbal strategies, all of which are important in assessing the total competence of the second language learner. Okay, finally we are arriving at the end of our explanation. The end, I say you thank you.